Hello and welcome to DTE-Elite. Last week I put up a little video on how I was going to help everybody gain a better grade by using something which I'm calling the 1% way. Just like weight loss, it's impossible to lose everything that you want all in one hit. So what you're trying to do is lose, maybe a couple of pounds here and a couple of pounds there, and gradually you get to your ultimate goal. The same way with actually trying to improve your grade. You're not going to get from wherever you are now, let's say you're a 31, you're not going to get to 51 in one hit. Or if maybe you're a Pediatric currently maybe scoring 20, 25, you're not going to even get to that 31 in one hit. It needs to be done in small manageable bites, normally 1 or 2 points. And you can do this each week. So each week you can improve by 1 or 2 points, etc. if you work on it. So improving your grade the 1% way, that's what we're about. That's what we're trying to do. And each week we'll produce another video. We're going to work on each of the competencies and we'll talk about how we can gain that extra 1 or 2 points in each of the competencies. But before I do that, I thought first of all we'll start on how to choose your pupil, because I see some people go so wrong with this one. It's a very common problem why I think many people end up failing part 3 or even failing a standards check. It's because they actually take the wrong pupil to start with. I'll also introduce myself here. Those who don't know me, my name is Dave Foster. I'm a holder of the Master's degree in Driver Training Education and the Diploma in Driving Instruction and many other qualifications, including qualified teacher status. Being in this profession now, mainly teaching instructors, mainly rescuing instructors now for in excess of 22 years. And I've wrote a lot of material in order to help driving instructors get that better grade. But let's look at how to choose your pupil. Social media is full of well-intentioned people who love to help. I see this on social media all the time. The question is, what lessons should I deliver for my part 3 or standards check? What pupil should I take? And it's full of lots and lots of advice. Unfortunately, they're not actually helping. People generally do want to help, and they are generally trying to help people by offering advice. They'll say what they did and what worked for them. But unfortunately, because this is very much centered around the pupil and the needs of the pupil at that time, then the only lesson that can work at that time for you would be the one that is best suited to that pupil. And nobody knows what it is really except for you and your pupil, and possibly a qualified trainer who can understands the competencies well, who could possibly sit in the back and look and go, do you know what, this is the lesson I would choose next. But even then, maybe not. Please avoid social media like the plague. It's often full, as a phrase I heard recently, full of lies and myths, etc. Well-intentioned myths and well-intentioned lies, but it is there. I say this because as instructors, it actually is our nature to help. But it's this one fact alone often causes our own downfall. Because we try to help our pupils, we often like to tell them a pupil doesn't know something. So of course we come along with this encyclopedia in our head and we tell our pupil what it is that they need to know. And that makes the pupil feel better initially, and it makes us feel better, and we feel like we're doing our job. We love to tell people the answer when in fact we should be asking the questions to lead people to the answer. And when we get to that stage where we can stop telling and start to ask, we'll get more into this. It'll actually start to work. You need to know the answer, but you need to lead your pupil to the answer, etc. But again, this is going to be covered through the thing, but it's this one thing alone that even stops you from getting that grade when we go for advice. So who do we choose? How do we choose a pupil? Well, I'm going to start off by asking you some questions to think about, and you may want to write these down yourself. What sort of pupil do you teach mainly? if you're out there as a PDI or you're out there as a driving instructor, what is it that you do most of all yourself? Also, who can actually fill the space when the test is? So you need to look at it. Maybe your test is in 3 weeks' time on a Tuesday. Well, who do you normally have 3 weeks' time on a Tuesday? Who is there that could actually fill that space for you? And I reckon that the most common lessons is something like anticipation or junctions or some sort. Now, if you're a novice instructor, a PDI or an experienced instructor, you won't be experienced with teaching full license holders. Full license holders is another game altogether, and it is quite difficult, etc., to get those levels of instruction right, and you need experience. You're probably used to teaching, as I say, basic lessons, particularly around the anticipation junctions, and that's where you can practice on. That is when you can cut your bread and butter and what you can do most of all. So that is the sort of thing really that you're looking at, really, somewhere around those things where you can actually choose to teach a pupil. Now, I like to, in this case, to actually have a lesson where I can teach something where my pupils not too advanced, but not too novice. We don't want too novice anyway. Part of the DVSA rules are saying not too novice. But if you can get somebody around about the anticipation, maybe they haven't done roundabouts. But that's fine, because again, you would take control. One of the units is showing that you are teaching at the level that the pupil needs. If your pupil's not done roundabouts, not a problem. As you approach a roundabout, just say something like, look, I'll help you with this roundabout because you haven't done them yet, and it is my responsibility. Remember that word? Talking about sharing responsibility. Well, in this case, you would be 100% responsible for that part of the lesson. However, the pupil who's done moving on and stopping could be 100 or 90% responsible for the moving off and stopping. So we start to see how we can share the responsibility in that way. Leaving the pupil with just to discover and learn the things that they would need to do on that lesson. That 1 or 2 points that you will get your pupil to gain during their lesson. If you're doing anticipation and your pupil is a 2 or a 3, you're looking to get them at a 4 or a 5. Okay, you're not going to get them to 10. Or if you're grading from 5 to 5, those levels of instruction, those levels of grading are reserved for pre-test stuff, really, when they're right up at their test, etc., when they've demonstrated to you many times. So anyway, coming back to this, at the moment, look at the most common lesson you do, look at that for your pupil. So guess what the best thing for you to do? Think about it now. Think of what is it, the lesson you do the most, which is the one you're most experienced at, which is the one you can most practice. So don't take your worst pupil. I've always said this. You don't want a pupil who doesn't talk to you, who's not communicative, who's really struggles with. They are good pupils for you to have, trust me. I earned my bread and butter, I earned my master's degrees and things by those sorts of pupils, by actually adapting my teaching to teach them. But also, you don't want to take your best pupil. You don't want that pupil that just does it all automatically. You want somebody who's going to give you a little bit of a challenge, who is going to need you to guide them into something. You do want somebody who will answer questions. Don't take a long ugh. You know the one. What do you think we should do here? Oh. What are you looking at the mirrors for? What might happen if you don't check the mirror? Oh. Try not to take ugh, as I call them. Somebody who you can have a conversation with, somebody who you get on with, who there's already got that skill, that communication, you've got that rapport with, ideally, etc. Somebody who you fit in with would really be the best person there. Well, that's about all. I say one of these short bites for this one today. I'm hoping this has helped you on choosing your pupil. Those of you who are looking for free support, etc., come to my website, DTE-Elite.co.uk. Lots of free support on there. And also, if you're looking for products like lesson planners or lesson plans, etc., they're all on there as well, all written by myself and proven history. read the reviews. I don't need to speak for them, many people do. The next video will be on Monday. What I would like you to do is please put your comments on how you are thinking about choosing your pupil and what this video meant for you. Has it made you rethink a pupil? Has it made you think about a different pupil? Maybe you've got a test coming up and this has helped you there. Please do put the comments on below. I'll speak to you next Monday. Thank you very much and have a great